Hey, it's your boy Eli.
Hey, it's Daniel.
Here we're back again. And those of you who have been with us for a long time, you know if Daniel's here, usually means one of two things. We are going to be talking about either fighting games or just games in general. Um, so in a way, this is a continuation of what we talked about a couple of weeks ago about the Switch 2 announcement, in which, hey, that's cool, we got a Switch 2. Wait, what do you mean by the prices? I'm sorry, what? What? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like it's only $450. I mean, not so bad. And I mean, Mario Kart's 80. Like, I mean, you got that. You got the money, right?
Oh, I don't have that money. Not right now. It's called paying taxes, buddy. Um, so that's going to be a very good situation because that has come back to us in the form of another uh, console announcement that it's going to cost us a bit, and that is the increase of the Xbox gaming sphere. And Daniel, do you mind telling me how much is what?
Let's see. Actually, I need to look up the price because I know like so for the longest time right now throughout the entire generation and even before with this with the original Switch, um we never got on a price cut whatsoever. Pretty much everything
No.
stayed the same price. Uh,
Hmm.
both Xbox and PlayStation, I believe, were both $500. And now that Xbox coming out and saying that their consoles is going to be a little bit more, I
Yeah.
believe it's going to be a little over $600 for the standard Series X. I believe the Series S is going to be a little bit more over. How much for the Series S was again? Like 400?
It was pretty cheap. It was like at least $100 or $200 more cheaper than that
Yeah, so
Series X.
it climbed up a bit closer to the regular Series X price to 500, and then I forgot. I didn't know they were still selling it. I thought it was a limited edition thing, but the 2 terabyte Series X is now over $700. So that's pretty much
Hmm.
reaching past the point of a PS5 Pro.
Yeah, and so that's gonna be our main, essentially our main talking points. It's just kind of the environment that we're kind of in right now. Uh, just why it's just kind of inevitable, mm, all because of the way things have been going for like the gaming sphere, and also certain things that are going on right now in the current world, which will, I'll say this, we're not gonna go that deep into it because I'm pretty sure everyone has talked about it to death.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much what's going on is that the current state of the industry, and it it just sucks 'cause, like how much of an issue it's becoming now, because for the longest time they're complaining like development costs were going too high, so we gotta let people go. And then now we're getting to the point where like we had to increase our prices, and
Yeah.
that's something that's nobody likes. I don't like it. You
No,
don't like it.
I don't like
Um,
it.
yeah, and it just seems a bit unfair to some of the others as well that are trying to get into gaming as
Hmm.
well. Because me and you, Eli, we're looking enough to get our PlayStations or Xboxes or the Switches when it first came out. At the prices they were originally marked at, and now they're slowly like now yeah like basically
It's
like
not gonna be
got a
fun.
they got a big bump in it. And well so we're starting to slowly like hopping over time as well. Like right now Xbox announced it effective now globally that not only just the consoles but their games are now going from 70 to $80, and also all of
Mhm.
their accessories as well.
So does that
Let
mean if at a different country would it be 80 or does that would it equal to the amount of $80 US?
Don't quote me on this. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it wrong, but probably the equivalent of the US $80.
Yeah, I feel like that makes the most sense. And
Yeah,
the problem with that is that, you know, this is where you start having to figure out what economics is. Start taking the economics 101 class and to really understand like all the interesting nuances that comes with it. Because I mean, like $80 here is some larger than twice as much, maybe three times as much as in, I would say, somewhere like Mexico, where the peso is very low.
yeah, and then you get some countries that are unfortunately burdened with some baffling choices. I know Brazil for the longest time. They treated pretty much any video game related material as gambling for some reason, and or something relating to that. And because of that reason, their video
Mhm.
games are insanely expensive over in Brazil, and that's why there's like a
Yeah.
big, great market for
Hmm.
pirated materials, and that's why like Sega has a huge following there too, because they give out like a Brazilian toy distributor, the rights to reproduce Sega Genesis and Master System materials over there as well.
That's crazy. I didn't even know that. So essentially, the Genesis and all that stuff is back.
No, yeah, like definitely look it up. It is a big rabbit hole. Like just to give you like a quick
Facts.
surface level thing, like Sega, they wanted to bring games to Brazil, but because the whole like issues with the taxes in Brazil, they decided to license out their stuff to a toy company called Tectoy, I think. And then
Mhm.
Tectoy, they would reproduce the Sega Genesis and Master System within the country, so they could
So
avoid
they're
the
playing like it
taxes.
was 20, 20, 30 years ago now.
Now, like it's actually pretty recent. I think it's been the thing since like,
No, 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 I'm saying they're playing games that have been out since 20, 30 years ago.
oh yeah, yeah.
Like like I'm not saying they just found out about Sonic Adventure 2, but I'm like they're essentially still playing Sonic Adventure 2 over there.
Like yeah, like and Sonic has a huge, fan base over there because of that.
Oh, I've heard about the comics, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. And so like yeah, we got that kind of issues and then we
Yeah.
have while we're not seeing it from Sony themselves yet, they have been raising prices in different territories. I know in Europe, for example, they increased the price for the
Really.
PlayStation. Yeah, like not a lot of people notice because we're Americans because like we don't really pay attention with stuff outside unless
Hmm.
it's something big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like to try to keep an eye out for what's going on outside. And yeah, like PlayStation has been slowly increasing prices for PS Plus, their consoles. Uh
Mm.
I don't remember how much it was, but outside of America, I think even in Japan themselves, maybe like they were increased a little bit. So it's only going to be a
Jesus.
matter of time where eventually they're going to make it over to the States and have to increase the prices
I
on.
feel like that's when you know that the final nail of the coffins up that all this situation is like we need to get this we need to change stuff up is when Sony the big hitter because for the past two generations they've been the big hitter.
Yeah.
Like I remember someone's like a couple of like people commenting on Xbox having to increase prices. Like, bro, you're kind of like on the losing side. You can't be the one increasing prices. I'm like, bro, they have no choice. This
Yeah,
is the
like
industry right now.
yeah, I think that's a big thing people need to understand because like people know that Xbox is in third place, and
Yeah.
the fact not a lot of consoles are being sold. They're making a huge emphasis with Game Pass. Like this is an Xbox. This deck of cards is an Xbox. This Houston Rockets Whataburger tag is an Xbox. Not really, but you get the
Would you get
point.
that?
They randomly gave it to me one day, and I was like, no, you can keep it. It's like okay, but
Uh,
yeah, yeah, so basically, like Xbox, now they're going to go through the strategy where basically I could use my PC, I could use an LG Smart TV or anything like
mhm.
that to help push Game Pass and all that. And luckily, for now, Game Pass is not, experiencing any kind of a price increases of any kind at the moment. So, yeah, while the games are going to increase, as long as you're a Game Pass holder, you still have access to all these games as normal until they decide to increase the prices again. So right now, Game Pass is safe. Nintendo, hopefully the $80 thing will be a case by case thing like they did with Tears of the Kingdom, because
Mhm.
pretty much all the games from Nintendo
Totally
on
forgot Tears of the Kingdom was that much.
yeah, like pretty much all the games on the Switch were $60 brand new, and with some exceptions like Metro Prime being 40 and some other games being a little bit cheaper as well. But
Mm.
with Tears of the Kingdom, it is the only Nintendo game that on the Switch that was released for $70, the same price they were going for PS5 and Xbox Series. Uh, and luckily that was the only game yet. So hopefully that's the case for Mario Kart World.
Mhm.
Because I know like they could have done the same thing with Donkey Kong Bonanza, but no, it's still 70, so that's fine for now. I mean, still a little bit, that's still a $10 jump from $60, but
It is. I mean, like even now, there's a lot of conversations about even like the newest GTA being about like was it 90? Was that the first speculation of it?
no, like there's speculation about it being a little bit more than the usual 70 that we got right now at PlayStation and
Hmm.
Xbox. But but there's been reports like investors that have been trying to get on Rockstar and be like, hey, we want to make the most money. We know Grand Theft Auto is pretty much the holy grail of all of video games. So we want you to just go and sell it for 100 or like 99.99. And no one wants to pay 99.99 for a game.
No, no, I wouldn't want that at all.
Yeah. So yeah, we know like it's forces outside of their like out of their hands and out of our hands because if they were really trying to be greedy, they could have just increase the price of the games, then that's it. Because they're
Yeah.
because if it was like mainly just greed, because like they wouldn't have to bother with accessories. Because yeah, they'll make some extra money on the side with accessories, but that's not really their main selling point. It's the games.
Yeah.
Because you got to also keep in
It's
mind Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, they sell these games at a loss. Well, not games, their consoles at a loss, and
mhm,
that's usually how's it been for the longest time. They make the money back, with these first party video games.
exactly. And like honestly, considering like a lot of this of that kind of like me specifically talking about like Sony and Xbox, right? They've been doing a lot of like acquisitions and a lot of promoting of games that like either don't do well or like aren't making the number that they kind of wanted to make. So
Yeah,
it's gonna the price increase was gonna be a thing that a lot of people thought was gonna happen, especially with like stuff like Sony and like Concord, because like
uh, yeah,
that
like
didn't make enough money.
no, that
Tax
thing
write
barely
off.
lasted 2 weeks. I don't even think it made it past 2 weeks.
No, it didn't. It was 2 weeks.
Like, and they spent like over I don't know $400 million, I think, or I might be
It became a
exaggerating.
tax write off, right? I feel like that's
Like
what happened.
I don't I don't think they ever confirmed what they did with it, but all we
Hmm.
know is like yeah, it got pulled, refunds were given out, and that was pretty much the end of it.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah, and then we got like
Refunds.
yeah, so we got like Sony putting in a lot of money into like games that are not doing as well as they hope. Like for example, it's these are the games that we know right now. There's some games behind the scenes that not a lot of people might know about either. For example, The Last of Us 2 multiplayer actually branched out into its own game itself, but Naughty Dog decided, to put a stop to it because eventually it was getting to the point where it was becoming a live service game, and that basically means you're working on it forever. And Naughty Dog, we'll give them credit for it. Like they know they don't want to do that. They want to, create new stories and go outside, create new worlds, and
They will
yeah,
eventually want to do Last of Us 3.
yeah,
Well, it won't happen, but it will definitely happen.
yeah. Like yeah. So they put a stop to that. Same thing with Spider-Man. With Insomniac, there was supposed to be a live service multiplayer Spider-Man game,
Hmm.
and of course, like same deal. It was a live service game, and they Insomniac want to actually keep making new stories and stuff like that. So they put a stop to that
Yeah.
as well. And there's a bunch
Jesus.
more behind Sony as well. What's going on behind the scene.
Yeah, no, this it's just a lot of like industry stuff like that eventually leads to such tragic things like this. Like if they don't make able to make their money back.
Yeah.
And sadly, the only way to do that is maybe increasing the prices because no one wants a situation like to happen with like, God forbid, a Tango Studio situation.
No, yeah, like Xbox, they were looking for a studio to shut down because they knew they make too many purchases and the money, weren't coming back as fast as they thought. And unfortunately, like with Tango Gameworks, they came out with Hi-Fi Rush, amazing game. People loved it. It got awards.
Fantastic.
So they thought they were safe, but it's like, nah, sorry. We were actually thinking it wasn't going to do good, and we're going to shut you down for that reason. But it feels awkward shutting you down now, even though you have great success with
Hey,
Hi-Fi Rush.
they were shit on by everybody, even like actual like news outlets.
Yeah,
It's like, what is wrong with you?
yeah, exactly. Like I even remember seeing a tweet from one of the developers at Tango saying like all these awards and we're still being shut down.
Yeah, no, it's not good. And like again, this is just a result of the industry. A lot of them are trying to bank on like a lot of these like higher end games when you kind of really don't need it to be.
Oh,
Like
doesn't necessarily have to be, no.
no, and like we're kind of seeing the effects of that, right?
Yeah.
And like again, aside from like one of the big elephants in the room of some of the recent news coming out about like certain things going on with tariffs and shit, it's like that's well, that's only gonna increase the likelihood of such increases going on because a lot of this stuff isn't made in areas that you think they'd be made. No, they didn't get parts from other places.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, with Microsoft and Xbox as well, like, yeah, it's an American company, but all those stuffs are made overseas. Like every
Hmm.
Xbox is made overseas.
Even if they don't sell over there.
Yeah,
That's the thing. It's like it's just the way the econ like the ecosystem is for that. So it's not really that surprising that something like this is gonna happen. It's just the fact that it's happening in such it feels like such a quick succession because Nintendo's the one that you didn't expect to happen to. Nintendo was
And
always the one that was always, like I said before, like the more like the justification makes sense for something like Switch 2 to be that much, right?
yeah, I mean, like
Like,
looking back at it now, like seeing it, like being able to run stuff in 4K, 120
mhm,
frames, even in like when you're playing a handheld as well, which is very surprising.
very
You know,
surprising. No doubt about that. And like I said, it makes sense. But the problem is, like, this before the issues that came up about it is that Nintendo was always like the not family friendly, but the less cost effective one, right? Like that's
yeah,
the one that's not gonna hurt your wallet.
yeah, like they've been known, like to keep their things affordable. They know that the best way, to get their games into people's hands is keeping themselves affordable because you know Uh, that's what it's been like for the longest time. I mean, back with the Nintendo Wii, it was just $50 for a new game, and then on PS3 and 360, it was 60. And then eventually, when it goes up over time, Nintendo became 60, while everyone else became $70. Yeah,
And they would
so
have and like you said earlier, they would some games would be like, it depends. Well, we'll see. Need to
yeah,
see, play by ear kind of stuff. And like now, like yeah, okay, price increase was it like $500 or something like that, 450, 450?
like some. Let's see. Wait for the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Not no, luckily we got the Switch 2 to be at the same price as they announced it. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
450 for the standard Switch 2 and then 500 with the Mario Kart bundle, which is
Mm-hmm.
still the best deal to get because you're only
Still
paying
does deal.
$50 for Mario Kart instead of 80.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But now because of the situation that's going on currently, which again leads them doing a price increase, it's on like I said, not everything from is made in one area. Gotta get parts from somewhere else. And it's the same thing with Xbox. A price increase was bound to happen. What sucks is that it's happening right concurrently with each other. So it feels like inevitably we're gonna get the Sony price increase.
Hmm.
Feels like it. And that's when a lot of people are gonna be very upset.
Yeah. And then
Eh,
Sony's actually going to be a lot worse because let's see, we got the PS because like right now the Xbox the 2 terabyte at least is about the same price as a PS5 Pro.
mhm.
And that PS5 Pro is $700 right now. So eventually, when they do increase the price for the PS5
I
Pro,
totally forgot they announced the PS5 Pro.
and again, like I think we might have talked about this before as well. The PS5 Pro is strictly digital; they don't have a physical edition, so you have to buy
No, I don't.
the disc
It,
add-on to connect to your
mm,
PS5 Pro, so you can actually play discs.
so a lot of their stuff is going to be very much
Yes,
high priced now.
yeah, and then if you want to have it stand up, you got to buy that little standee for it. Like
Oh,
it just it just slowly increases in price, like a lot. Because
in other words,
before,
Sony's going to get to hit the worst out of all of them.
yeah, for a complete PS5 Pro, it was like close to $1,000. Now it's gonna be over 1,000.
Jesus Christ. That's crazy. We're living in weird times, brother. We're living in weird times.
Yeah, I mean, like, there, I don't have solutions or anything like that. I'm just an idiot that loves to play games, but
No, same. It's just one of those
like,
things that like we cannot ignore this.
yeah, well, like, there's some ways that like game studios can try to mitigate it, in a way. For example, we they should bring back AA games because
Oh no, yeah.
like double I mean like they show great success and not every game has to be AAA and that's why it's taken so long for these games to come out now. I mean, last year it was a big drought for PlayStation. I think only two notable games that comes to my head came out last year and it was let's see, Astrobot and Helldivers 2.
Right, because they're the ones made by specifically for Sony.
Yeah, and then there's Concord but Concord shut down like very quickly.
Very quickly.
And Xbox, I think there were mostly third parties, games that came out on Game Pass as well, right?
Until this year where they came out with I didn't know I heard rumors of the Oblivion announcement that they were
Hmm.
gonna do a remake. So and as far as I know, that's mostly like console exclusive, or is it also on PC?
No, it's on PS5. It's also on PC as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then like Doom is coming out next month.
Hmm.
That's gonna be console exclusive, right?
No, so that also
Okay.
comes out PS5 day one.
Okay, good, 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 good.
And then
So I'm not against this. I'm not against this.
yeah.
Because clearly what we're going through right now, that's probably the best option.
Yeah, I
There's
mean like
also
Xbox got the right idea, like branching out their games at the moment right now.
that was a smart idea.
Yeah, so yeah, the Game Pass is working. Like as I mentioned before, like double A games. We need to like it's kind of double A games are kind of like horror movies. Like most of the time when you go watch a horror movie, it like you can have fun, and a lot of the times they make a lot of money because the budget
Mm,
is so low. And
exactly.
you could do the same thing with double A games. I mean,
Mm.
I remember like Sony. I can't believe they don't like give the game a lot of attention. But Gravity Rush, that's like a double A game. That's one of my favorites.
Honestly,
Yeah.
at this point, if they announce a second one, well, how many games have Gary Rush been? I feel
Oh,
like there's only been a single one, right?
there's been two, and like the second one
Okay.
kind of you know kind of like finishes the story. But I would love to see
Ah,
a third one. But I'm just putting out examples of
we're
like
just remake the first one. There you go. Easy money.
yeah, yeah, and
No,
so yeah, just bring
but
out more
you,
double A games, and
and at that
that would
point, you kind
help.
of had to make it a like not because I'm assuming Gravity Rush was a console exclusive, right?
No, yeah, it is like it was originally came out on the Vita, then it finally was brought over on PS4, then the sequel was made for PS4.
Hmm. Yeah, so I
And
feel like if you do bring it back, make that also multi-plat because we're getting to the point where like as much as exclusivity sounds good, I don't think these companies will be able to make it through with it.
no, yeah, like I mean, Sony's slowly is doing the same thing as Microsoft, like with select games. For example, just recently, this PSP cult, classic that I love, Patapon. It's it's
All
announced it's getting
right.
remastered. The first two games are getting remastered. I don't know why we haven't got a third one remastered, but it's coming out remastered for PC, PlayStation, and a Nintendo Switch, and even
Nice.
Everybody's Golf. And if you're if you're like the guy that played the original PS1 games at the time, it was known as Golf. So that basically became a multi-platform
Mhm.
now as well. It's going to be on PlayStation, PC, and Switch as well.
Yeah. I was gonna say like just it would probably at this point, like I said, at this point it makes sense that they would go that way. Even like the newest game that came out that I feel like is honestly more associated with Xbox. And I was surprised to find out that it's also multi-plat was the Expedition 33.
Oh yeah, like I think it's because like Xbox they mostly have the marketing rights to it, but yeah, like
Yeah.
Expedition 33. And that's another thing I want to bring up too. Like you don't need to have bloated games. Well, not bloated. Like a large budget for games to be amazing.
No.
I mean, like Final Fantasy looks amazing. It's a game. Those games I'm always gonna love. But then when you look at Expedition 33, which is a small team of about 30 people,
30 people.
yeah, and I'm assuming like the budget's not big either. I'll probably say
Yet
like
somehow they got Andy Serkis in there.
yeah. I, if I have
Like,
to make a
what?
guess, their budget's probably about the same as Hellblade 1 before they were acquired by Xbox.
At the same time, I would say like I feel like Andy Serkis would he's done video games before. I think he would be happy to do it again.
Yeah, so we got like Expedition 33 showing that you don't need a big budget. Look at our game. It looks phenomenal. The music's amazing. It looks great. I mean, I
Yeah,
thought it
it's
was a
so good.
triple A game, but it's not. It's made by a small studio that used to work for Ubisoft. Ubisoft, why you're holding back your employees? They could be making awesome stuff like that.
Yeah, the point where even the French Prime Minister started playing the game.
Exactly. The French Prime Minister came out and praised the team, saying like this, it's amazing. It shows like a great, deal of what the French could do.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful game, and it's like, and it's already like considered like masterpiece level, right? It's like, oh my God, it's like the best game to come out this year, and like I said, I feel like most people just kind of associate it with Xbox right now, but like, no, it's on PlayStation, it's
No,
on PC.
yeah, like right now, most of the players are from Xbox right now.
Exactly. I'm like, what? Because it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, and there's a huge demand for it too. Like I've been hearing stories where like game stores to either have no copies of the games at all, or maybe at best just one. I saw someone on Twitter saying that they went to a GameStop to pick up a game and they only had one copy. And
That's crazy, bro. That's
yeah,
crazy.
and the developers are aware of this as well. So I'm assuming the player count on PlayStation is going to increase. tenfold the moment, they start reprinting physical copies for the PS5.
Oh yeah, because like I said, most of those game players are going to be on Game Pass, and like this is a very good decision. Does that
Mhm.
clear them of what the situation with Kango? No, 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 we're not there yet.
Yeah,
But thankfully they're focusing on some double A games because don't forget they also had South of Midnight come
yeah,
out like a
South of
week
Mid.
before.
No, have you played South of Midnight?
I have not. It's on there. It was on my list.
Dude, it is a fun game.
It is.
I'm
I can
loving it,
tell.
dude.
I can tell.
I love like the music in the game too, because especially when you like to like the specific point of the story of each chapter of the story, like it starts playing like music, and it's got like no joke,
Is
like I had to
is
get
it
on.
blue? Is
Like
it
it's like a mix of blues. There's some jazz.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, like I just love it. I love it so much that I did pull it off on Spotify instead of playing the music off of my phone.
Oh,
Like,
nice, dude. That's good. That's good.
dude, like I love the music in the
Hmm.
game, and
I'm
yeah,
only
like
I'm kind of upset that it came out in like such a weird release window because it came out like it was like the week after was it was Expedition 33 and then Fatal
no,
Fury and then I think there's another game somewhere in between that.
wait, did it? Nah, like South of Midnight came a little bit earlier. Like it was a weird week though, because that was Oblivion remastered, Expedition 33, and Fatal Fury.
Yeah, it's the thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Like those games came out all together. I'm
yeah.
like Jesus Christ. And then next month we have Doom the Dark Ages with and that
This
game looks
month
insane.
we're in May already,
Oh yeah,
man.
right. We're in May now. It's this month. And then I'm just like, that game looks insane. I'm just like, what I'm think again. I thank God I have Game Pass, but I low key kind of want these physically.
Oh hell yeah, man! Like, dude, I'm so excited for Doom because like right now, like
All
I'm
right,
so
you got
excited
the controller.
about the controller.
You son of a bitch.
Look at this. I bought this right before they increased the prices for the controllers too.
Oh, you bastard. Nice though, nice. Yeah, you're gonna be playing in KI with that. I know that.
Like, not KI, I'm only gonna go with a stick, but
All right,
yeah,
son of a bitch.
I'm definitely playing the Dark Ages with
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much for us to say, but aside from this was not and this is a surprise, but we shouldn't be too surprised. It's kind of like an inevitability because again, the industry is gonna be kind of leaning like, foreseeing this events happening. And now
Hmm.
with this again, with the current situation that's going on with the world, um,
Yeah.
it's only gonna be more and more unlikely now because everything is being made everywhere else. It shouldn't affect these countries, but where we're at, that's gonna affect us bad.
No, like even like some other things like collector's edition. I remember I think it was for an RPG, I think. Rune
Yeah.
Factory. They had a
Hmm.
collector's edition that they had to delay because of this. So we're probably going to see a whole lot less of those now here in the States, since they're probably going to increase the prices for those a lot for those cool collectible goodies or whatever like to come in.
Hmm. Yeah. Sadly, we can't say much because we're not that well versed in some things, but like we can speak as consumers, and that's really the more important part.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for the indie developers out there, this is your time to shine. Most
It
of
is
your
your time to
games
shine,
are
baby.
available digitally, so your games will be unaffected. You can probably still keep them as $20, 30, or wherever fed you want to sell your games at. I know
Hmm.
there's a couple more indie games that are coming out that I want to try. I needed to double check and see if Morsel's coming out soon, because that
Yeah,
game has such this bizarre art style, but I kind of like want to play more of the game and see what it's like. But yeah, like
agreed.
yeah, indie devs, it's your time to shine. Let's see what you
And
got.
it's okay if these companies don't make like the game busters that people expect or want because they're not meant to be. They're a small studio. They're gonna make the money they're gonna make.
Yeah.
And like honestly, a success is a success, especially if you're that kind of a small indie studio. South of Midnight, fantastic game. Very much loved.
Yeah, like
Like
we'll
I,
see something like some big help from them as well, like Devolver Digital, like probably the biggest publisher for indie games right now. And pretty much, I can expect some great, unique games to come out from them.
oh yeah,
And then
agreed.
and then EA, as much, of money grubbing they can be, uh, they can help sometimes with indie games as well. Like with
Yeah, they
EA,
can.
yeah, I think they're under the label EA Originals. I mean, again, like uh, It Takes Two, right now it's Split Fiction. I mean, they're smaller games, but they're doing great, and I hear nothing but amazing things about them.
Agreed. I think that's about as much as we can say. Again, this because we're gonna be essentially like looping back and forth for a while. But hopefully we'll all come out of this okay. Hopefully the gaming won't be affected too much. Hopefully we can still make a good, decent, living. Maybe things
Mhm.
will change. But
Yeah.
anyways, hope let's stay positive wherever we can. But anyways, it's been me, your boy Eli. Oh, well, I'm jumping the gun now. But that's the end of the episode. Sure, like you heard, be sure to follow us on all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, most likely on Instagram. And there you can find a link to all the podcasting sites we're physically part of, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, all that like. And a link to the YouTube for all you other listeners out there who want to put a face to the voice. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube and a Patreon for informal support. But yeah, let's hope that things turn out well for this because I don't want to be in a rut for playing games, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's getting tough, and
Getting tough, man. These
like
trying
all we could
times.
do is hope for the best.
Hmm. Can I spare a lemon in these trying times? Anyways, me and your boy Eli.
It's Daniel.
You guys have a good one. Peace.